Now, the one that is being billed as the super fight, and I know that you think this could well be the fight of the year, Pacquiao and one of your favourites, Ricky Hatton.
Well, I think he's got a lot of fans in Australia, even though a lot of people were disappointed that he beat Costazoo at the time. People respect Ricky Hatton. We were talking about it before. There's that ability that he doesn't put himself above anybody else. He hangs out with his fans. He has a few beers and away from training, and he comes back and he fights like a demon. And he's a very explosive fighter. His only loss is to Floyd Mayweather Jr., the great fighter, and there's no shame there. And we saw Manny Pacquiao, who was brilliant against Oscar De La Hoya. To me, this is the fight of the year so far, and I really can't pick a winner. I'm sort of leaning towards Ricky Hatton, but Manny Pacquiao is the best fighter, pound for pound, #1 today.
Well, that's just it. You would think that Manny Pacquiao would probably start favourite out of these two. Yes, the crowd support and a lot of support would be behind Ricky Hatton. It's just got a fight that's going to go the distance written all over it. But out of the two, how would you sum the two up? Because would you say that Pacquiao's the pace man and Hatton's the strong puncher? How would you line the two up?
Well, I was talking to Costazoo the other day about this, and he agrees with me that he gives Ricky Hatton a good chance to win because Ricky Hatton brings tremendous pressure to the ring. He puts the pressure on his opponent. He fights at a great pace. They both do. That's what makes them such great stars today. You've got the #1 boxer in the world against maybe the number 5 or 6 in the world. So Ricky Hatton is certainly on that level. I think Hatton might start favourite because there will be huge money from the English fans. Ricky Hatton has the greatest fan base, the biggest fan base in world boxing today. Everyone gets behind him, and there'll be a lot of money on Ricky Hatton. But then having said that, there's a lot of Manny Pacquiao fans out there, and that's why these guys are going to make $20 million each. That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. Ricky Hatton first came into our consciousness basically with the fights with Kostya. Now, what we learned about him then was that, as you mentioned, he likes a beer. When he's not fighting, he goes away, and some might say lets himself go a little bit. Is that the way a modern fighter can handle his career? Will that catch up with him at some stage?
Well, you would expect it would. History has shown that boxers can't do that. But look, he's got a new trainer, and he looked in his last fight against Paul Malignaggi. He had Floyd Mayweather Sr. That's Floyd Mayweather's father, who's a great trainer, considered one of the best trainers in the world today. And Ricky Hatton looked fresher and better and more explosive than either in his last fight. So, look, I think it can only harm Ricky Hatton, but I think that's why people love him, because he's a man of the people, and he gets out there and does those sort of things and can put the weight on and then can peel it off. But as you get into 30s, your history shows that you can't do that as often. And go back to Oscar De La Hoya, was really a businessman rather than a fighter, and when he tried to be a fighter again, he can't fight at that elite level anymore.
Well, that fight on May 2, some time away, but salivating at the prospect of seeing those two go head-to-head. But next Wednesday night, Anthony Mundine, can he be silenced by Shannon Taylor? Who knows? Paul Upham gives Shannon somewhat of a bit of a chance to at least give Mundine a bit of a run for his money. And Paul, it's always great to have you in the studio, mate, and look forward to seeing you again soon.
It's so happy to be here. We've got so many great boxing fights coming up.
For sure. It's been a
patch,
Thanks, mate.
Thank you, mate. All right, coming up, we're going to cross to the MCG. We're going to wrap up the day's Ford Ranger Cup action, and sadly, a frightening injury today. So we'll have the latest on that.
And NRL players come close to a crock chop.